Hi cohort, my name is lmansley and I want to thank you for watching my presentation. I will take you through my entrepreneurial journey on how I came up with my venture adventure idea, which is Bay Adventures. I'll tell you a little bit more about the idea. I'll tell you what I designed, what I learned through some of my research, how I iterated that idea. I'll talk about my value proposition and what I thought for marketing. Then I thought we'd do some number crunching, and then I will tell you where I want to go from there. So let's get started. This idea was born from a gap in the market. This year, I scoured all of Victoria for looking for a year-round kids leadership program and was shocked to find that there isn't any, especially now. The closest comparable is Girl Scouts, and our products differ slightly in that mine is less of a commitment, it's cheaper, and it's more flexible. Unfortunately, recently we learned that kids' mental health issues are on the rise due to the stress of COVID. The time is now to teach our kids about public safety and build confidence in their abilities and our community. I'm free on the weekends and these programs are limited to 6 kids, so this micro business works perfectly because kids gain more from smaller group sizes. I have a 9-year-old. I've done an extensive amount of research, especially since COVID, on instilling leadership skills and inspiring their capabilities. I have an invested interest in making sure these kids succeed because Victoria is a small town and they are our future here. And if that isn't enough, I have a lot of energy to boot, so that can't hurt. I'm providing a program to confidently prepare these kids for our new world. So next, I hit the ground and I started asking my friends and my mom's groups what they would find valuable. I designed a survey and I blasted it out. Then I just wanted to gather some information and find out if I was on the right path. I created an MVP, so I created this lesson plan using a handful of things that I found online. And then I stole a bunch of my daughter's friends and took them to a park and ran them through the activities to try and gather some feedback from them on like what they thought. From the research I conducted, I gathered some really helpful data. The first thing I noticed was that the kids surprised me. They did better than I thought they were going to do at the activities, which proves that they have the capabilities, they just need the conduits to bring them out. The second thing I noticed is, I think, speaks to continual improvement. I learned just as much from them as they did from me, and I walked away feeling so rewarded for the experience, and it motivated me to want to do better and add more value for them next time. The third thing I discovered was that I learned that 100% of respondents from the surveys didn't have their kids involved in any leadership activity, which was shocking to me. Even more shocking than that was that parents of older kids, specifically the age group 10 to 15, valued a leadership program too. And I was only focusing on the ages 5 to 9 prior to that. And obviously that was a big mistake. Most importantly, what I learned from this program is that it doesn't have to be complicated. I learned that parents are just looking for those basic life skills to grow their little humans into amazing people, and those skills are not earth-shattering. Here are the most valued skills as mentioned by my survey respondents: confidence, critical thinking, awareness, not only self-awareness but public safety too, communication, so being able to express their own ideas effectively and listening to others respectfully. There were a few things that I didn't consider that emerged as themes out of the data collected, and that was healthy eating and active lifestyle, which totally makes sense, especially during these COVID times. So what now? So what are we going to do with this info? At this point in my journey, I knew that I had to pivot and change my end user perspective and design programs for those older kids too. I decided that perhaps I could run them back to back on a Saturday. This would also mean an increase in revenue. With these new programs, this was a good opportunity to ensure the business had all aspects of the triple bottom line. I created 3 other sample lesson plans that involved a community garden focusing on healthy eating habits and sustainability. That monthly event would also donate a portion of the profits to the community garden, as well as a sports themed activity with games involving strategy, and I designed a clean up the beach event. Armed with all this information, I went back to my target market numbers. I decided to expand my TAM, incorporating the parents of the kids, specifically in the 10 to 15 age group. This also expanded my serviceable, obtainable market, which is good because prior in the journey I was struggling to see a profit, but it's starting to look a little bit more promising now. Through expanding my target market, I was able to increase my SAM from 10 parents to 224. As I'm strutting along on my journey, I arrived at writing my value proposition and captured my services value as Bay Adventures helps parents who want to inspire their kids by encouraging them to discover their strengths and own their capabilities. I then started to focus some more time on marketing. I decided to post on Facebook and Instagram, targeting community pages, specifically moms groups, dads groups, grandparents, while not underestimating word of mouth. I recognize that I'll need to do traditional advertising, but decided to save this as a next step in my business just so I could get a few months of experience under my belt. Now it was time to crunch some numbers. Out of my gathered data, it seems that most parents prefer events running about 2 hours long. That would typically pay about $20 per hour. I plan on running 2 different age groups with 6 kids each in them once a month, providing me revenue of $480. When I did my MVP session with the kids, I bought supplies and a snack and spent around $40. So I'm doubling that and saying that I'm spending $80 per month. I then extracted website charges, and using a sign-up software and accounting program. I estimated legal and insurance costs and incorporation fees on a monthly basis. I took a salary of $150, and at the end, the business made a whopping $40 a month. At the current stage in my entrepreneurial journey, I've learned that there is a void in the market for leadership activities, and it seems like now is the opportune time to fill that gap. I want to see if this works because I believe it's a valuable service that our community can benefit from. What I learned is, as a personal reminder for myself, is that this process can seem really daunting in the beginning, but once you jump in, you get intrigued with every piece of research that comes back, and soon you find you just can't even shut your brain off. That being said, some of the next steps I would focus on for this business is marketing. This business requires a more robust marketing plan to continue to fill the pipeline with customers. It also needs more market research. I feel like I could just keep doing market research and continually learning from my audience, but I know eventually I need to jump in and get that end user to buy into this venture. I will tighten up my expense estimate so I know exactly what kind of ROI I'm looking at for this company. We've come to the end of my journey so far. I want to thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all at Res and answering your questions. Bye!